It is being reported by a couple sources. Now, when TMZ reports this, they're usually right, which is weird because TMZ is, a lot of sensationalism, but I will give them this. They are pretty dead accurate when it comes to making reports about certain things. Um, According to TMZ Sports, Cam Smith from the PGA Tour and the new British Open champion, congrats to him, he played an amazing round, is closing in on a deal to join LIV Golf. The deal is reported to be around $90 million from what I've seen. Now, we don't know if this is confirmed yet. This is right now, it's being reported that it is going to happen, but we've heard about this all week, but I have not heard a concrete yes, Cam Smith, the player, is going. So right now, this is just speculation. But let's say that this is true. First off, Cam Smith just won the British Open. Played a great round of golf all 4 days. And he's a good young player. He's been in contention for almost every major this year, or a lot of them. And he just has kind of faltered at the end a little bit. So it was nice to see him, finish strong. And he ended up beating the PGA Tour's golden boy, Roy McIlroy, which was I thought was interesting. And it's going to be even more interesting if he goes to LIV Golf. His last statement is, "Hey, I'm beating the PGA's poster boy, and then I'm going to LIV Golf with the major and the money." That's interesting to me. So what will the PGA Tour do now? Let's say he does go. We've at first it was a couple guys here and there. Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, guys that are high level players, but they're a little bit older. And then you got Kepka, DeChambeau, couple younger guys, and now a guy like Cam Smith, who is just won the British Open, a younger talent that the PGA Tour needs because to me they need guys they have plenty of great young golfers like Victor Hovland and Cam Smith and some other guys here and there. I can't think of the names off the top of my head, but Xander Schauffele, guys like him, they need guys that can draw. And what I mean by that is a lot of these golfers are fantastic players, but they're very vanilla and standard, very cookie cutter look. Not saying that's anything against them, that's just who they are. But they're not necessarily draws to the sport. So if we see a guy like Cam Smith, who, he's from Australia, he's got the mullet, he's got a little bit of a personality, he's a good golfer, it gives the fans a little bit of an incentive to want to tune in and maybe watch this guy, follow his round, go to an event, watch him. You start losing these guys, it's one thing if they're not playing on tour, but it's also a thing where you're losing, guys that you can really mold your sport around and advertise for. You know, Obviously the most marketable and successful golfer in terms of appeal has been Tiger Woods. There's no doubt about that. What made him appealing? He was a young guy. He had a little bit of a personality. He was, to me, the best golfer of all time. Top tier talent. And he had all the Nike sponsorships, the commercials, the video games. He had all that to go with it. So not only are they losing guys that are good golfers, they're losing guys that are sponsors, guys that can mold the sport around. People when they draw into sports, they want to see good players, but they want players that they can get invested in. They want players that they can really get behind. And the PGA is losing these guys. They're losing good players, but they're also losing guys that are marketable and that people can invest themselves in. And that's tough. So what is the PGA Tour going to do? It's been an absolute onslaught of words between the LIV Tour and PGA Tour, between Greg Norman and the guys at the PGA Tour. It's split down 50-50 what you think. People say, oh, they're using blood money. The Saudis aren't good people, taking their money and then just disregarding morals and values of the United States, whatever. And then you've got the other half, people who say, okay, that's fine. People do that in politics all the time. It's not talked about. And these guys are just trying to make the best financial decision that they can. And I've seen people say, okay, well, the players put out these statements saying, this is good for the game of golf. It's good for me. I get the chance to do blah 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 blah. We all know it's about the money, and I don't expect them to come out right there and just say that. It would be nice, but it would also make them kind of look like an asshole in a sense. But I understand why they're not just coming out and saying, "Hey, I am taking this for the money." Point blank. That's essentially the case. But Cam Smith, it's just interesting. A guy can come in, win the British Open, and then just maybe go to Live Golf and take the money. I just had this conversation last week on the podcast. Would you rather be a young guy to win a major, or would you rather go get the bag? He's got the opportunity to do both. He just won the major. Now he can go get the money. And then at some point, there's going to have to be some sort of reconciling between Live Golf and PGA Tour because, I don't know how deep their pockets go and how much they can keep paying because eventually, you've got to get the money back by people watching your sport. And I'm talking about Live Golf. You've got to get people that are going to, I don't think they have a TV deal. I'm not sure if they do. I'm sure they got to secure something like that, especially with these top level players that they have. But eventually, we got to see something happen there between the two leagues because, they want to talk about what's better for golf. But right now you got two places that are divided. And one's just taking all the talent with all the money and just saying goodbye to everybody else. And the PGA Tour, they look kind of bad right now. They do. And I'm here for whatever's going to make the sport better. I'm here for it. Everyone just wants to see some good golf happen. And if Cam Smith does go to the Live Golf Tour, then hey, that's the best financial opportunity for him. Plus, he's going to be taking that British Open championship with him, and we'll see if he'll be playing next year.